Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mark and I'm the Mediocre Modeler. I want to welcome you back to the channel. Thank you for all my subscribers and all the people who give me likes and comments. Thumbs up, I appreciate it. Today's the first update on my entry into Paul over there at Left Coast Model Car Builds group build. So the end of this group build is the end of March, so it's coming up, and this is my first update. I've been pretty busy around here, as you can tell. Look, I haven't shaved. So this is the first update on the group build I entered. Paul over there at Left Coast Model Car Builds. The deadline for this build is the end of March, and you might be asking, why do you got a tank? Well, Paul's group build, he said in his intro video, you know, build something, that you've built before, and this time put more detail into it. So this is the first model I ever built, this M1 tank. And so I put absolutely zero detail on this thing, except for a couple decals. And that's about it. So this one is the 1/35 scale M1A1 put out by Dragon, and it has 760 parts, including photo etch. And I emailed Paul and asked if I could get into his group build with this M1 tank, and he said sure. So let's bring you a little closer, and I'll show you what we got. So this is what I have so far, all mocked up, just like a car. So, soldier, get over here. Sir, yes, sir. The hull I painted with NATO Green XF67. And then I cleared it with Mr. Super Clear. This is the gloss can, but I have a matte can. So I hit it with Mr. Super Clear Matte after that. And then once that dried, then I started to do the washes. I used acrylic paint, pure black. I did, let me see, 2 washes with the black. And then once all that was dry, I did 2 washes with this dark brown. Then I went to the lighter color, the yellow ochre. Did 2 washes with that. I like the way it turned out. And I'm not done yet. I'm going to use Tamiya panel liner accent black, and also the brown. I'm going to do it in that sequence. So I'm going to work, I work from like darker shades to lighter shades. That's what I remember learning from watching YouTube videos. But I like the way the top of the hull came out. I'm not completely finished with it yet, but like I said, I want to hit it with the Tamiya panel liner. And also, excuse me, before I forget, since this group build was about, doing more detail on a model, I'm going to use this, the weathering, A and C on this. So my goal is to put more detail into this model. Like the first model I built, I just put a couple decals on it. So I think it came out pretty good so far. Let me get this out of the way. So the tracks, the first kit I did was a rubber track tank, and this is Magic Tracks by Dragon. And I'll show you a little trick on the tracks at the end of the video, and I'll tell you a story about when I was in Germany. I was on an M1 tank for 2 years, and when I first got into country, I'll tell you a funny story, and I'll also show you, you know, how to manipulate these tracks. But these are all mocked up; they're ready for paint. So I'm going to hit that with rubber black, Tamiya rubber black, and then hit it with a matte clear by Mr. Super Clear. But that's glued in the shape it's in, and I use Tamiya extra thin. And like I said, I'll show you how I do that at the end, and I'll tell you a funny story. So let me get these pieces of track out of here. These are all mocked up, like I said, and they're ready for paint. So I'll get these out of here. Oops, sorry for hitting the camera. Okay, so this drive sprocket is not glued in yet because I'm obviously not done with the track. So, and there's another little bar or blade. It's like a mud scraping blade that takes the, you know, keeps rocks from going up in the sprocket and stuff like that. And I have to put that on last. So that's why I haven't glued this in yet. And I haven't finished detailing it yet either. So here's the hull, side of the hull. I think it came out pretty good. So what I did is I used Tamiya black panel liner first. Then I used the brown panel liner to bring out the highlights. And then I used the Tamiya Weathering Master A. I didn't have the C yet, so I just got that the other day. But then after I did that, I used thick mud, and that's European mud. So this kit wants you to replicate a kit from like Desert Storm, but I'm going to be doing it the way I remember when I was in Germany back in the mid-'80s. We had native green. NATO green, not native. I cracked myself up. But anyways, yeah, that came out pretty good. The other side's not in yet because I've been working my way out with the weathering. So you get the idler arm. Excuse me, that'll go right here. So when I'm ready to do this side, I'll put these in, figure out where all they're going, and then I'll hit it with the thick mud. And as I'm building it out, I'll detail it. That way I can't get in there once it's all together, is what I'm trying to say. So here's this side. The inside of the road wheel, I hit it with that the Tamiya panel liner, black and brown, and also the Weathering Master A. And then I use the Vallejo thick mud, European mud. So then that'll go on like that. And then get over here, soldier. Yes, sir. Thank you, soldier. So right over here is a little oil reservoir, and there's a little piece of clear plastic that goes in front of it. But I didn't make it clear. I sprayed it with Tamiya smoke. And to make it look like oil, I used Tamiya semi-gloss black. There you go. To make it look like oil inside there. So on this side, you can see they're installed. And you can see a couple spots where I nipped off the sprue. But that's okay because I'm going to hit it with that Vallejo thick mud and just cover it up, because, that's going to be muddy too. So, yeah. So, there you have it. And that's my first update. Now I'll show you the tip and let you hear that story that I'll give you. It's pretty funny, actually. I'm going to call this a tip and a tail. So I'm going to glue this track together with Tamiya extra thin. So you take the track, they're all individual pieces, and I counted out 13 for the other side. So 13 for this side. Snap it in place. Take the Tamiya cement. So when I was in Germany in the Army, I was like 18 years old. And when I first got into country, into my unit, I was probably like early 18-year-old. I didn't know much of anything. So I was in country for about a week, and the guys at the motor pool knew I was new, so they sent me out looking for a box of reticles. So I went around looking for a box of reticles all day, and I couldn't find any because they don't exist. So that was my introduction into the country. So I knew these guys were pranksters, and I don't know, 2 weeks into it, I was sleeping, and all of a sudden we get woken up to alert, alert. What the heck is an alert? To my roommate. And he goes, just get all your shit. We got to go to the motor pool. And we're going to go to the armory and get our weapons and stuff like that. So we'll go down. So I was carrying a 45, two 240 machine guns, and a 50 caliber to the motor pool. Is like, I don't know, a mile away. So the Mod Deuce probably weighs about 90 pounds, So I had all my gear too, my rucksack, and so this alert turns out, like in Germany, it happens not often, but it happens. So when it happens, you got to get everything ready. Go down to motor pool, get your tank battle ready, and you're ready to go. Well, we did all that, and it took a while. And then we got the orders to move out. So, I don't know, move out. I'm the driver, okay. So follow the other guys, right? So we head down to the train station. Then we rail loaded the tanks onto these train cars, and the tracks are sticking over the edge of the train, by about this much. And we're rail loading these things at night. So we're using flashlights, and I was like hyper focused because I did not want to knock a train over, by flipping a tank over. So, anyways, we moved out. We took off, and we went to this place called Grafenwehr. So in Grafenwehr, we practiced war games, and got ready for battle. So we were out there for 17 days, and we lived out in the field for 17 days, and that was my introduction into Germany. I thought it was cool, I thought it was really cool, playing war and, living out in the field, and I really did like it. And so one day we were just parked on the side, and I forget what we were doing, and I says, hey, I got to go hit that outhouse. There was an outhouse in the middle of nowhere in Germany, in Grafenwehr. And that's a gunnery range, Grafenwehr. You got Grafenwehr, Hornsfeld, and Wildflicken. So anyways, Grafenwehr, back to the story. I hit this outhouse. I had to go, nature called, So, but before I went, this guy's like, hey, watch out for the wild boars. He goes, they're like 5 feet tall. Get out of here. Yeah, just like a box of reticles, right? So I didn't believe him anyway. So anyway, I go to the outhouse, and I did my thing, and I'm walking back, and somebody shouts out, hey, Mark, look behind you. So I turn around, and there's these 3 black Russian boars, and they were like all of like 5 feet tall. And to this day, that's the fastest I've ever run in my entire life. I couldn't believe how big they were. They were scary big. But yeah, that was quite the story, So, anyways, this is about dried enough. So I take the track, put it on the sprocket where it's going to be coming out the top. Then I can just lay this down like this. And I want this to go over like probably about a 40-degree angle. Not a 45, a 40. It doesn't matter. I crack myself up. But yeah, so then you let it sit like that, and it'll dry just like that. Then you can take it over to the paint booth and spray it rubber black, and then matte finish after that. But yeah, that's a tip and a tail for today on this build. Maybe I'll do that next time. Tip and a tail. I'll tell you another funny story about when I was in the Army. But for all our soldiers out there, God bless you. Thank you for keeping us safe, and Godspeed. Peace out, everybody.